Hello and welcome to the Treehouse. This is Kag with your View from Above reading for Monday, August 12th, 2024. And since this is a Monday, we're going to do a 9+1 reading. Remember that this is for the collective, so it's for all of us. And so some of this will resonate and some may not. Take what resonates for you and leave the rest. So I have deeply shuffled these before we got together, but I'm going to give it just a little more shuffle here. These cards tend to be a little sticky, I suppose, because I've used them for over a year. You can see they're a little worn on the side. Okay, one more shuffle and cut, and then we'll be ready to lay out our 9+1. Oh, yeah. Sometimes the cards have a mind of their own. Okay. The 9+1 reading for Monday, the 12th. And this is what's present. This is the energy that is going to be a challenge, or as some people say, this is the crossing energy. Again, I just don't really like that word. And this is for wisdom for what's going on. And we will look at the Merryweather card at the bottom of the deck. So present, what have we got for the present? We have the Page of Pentacles. And as I remind you, each time Pentacles are all of your resources, not just money. The Page is the youngest of the court members and probably the most excitable and interested and imaginative and in love with whatever this resource is that he is holding. So there must be some energy going on for you about some new project, some new thing, something you're thinking about, something that you actually, new pet, new whatever. So the challenge energy for the week, and that is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is sort of reminiscent of Odin on the tree or Jesus or whatever. It's about looking at things from a whole different perspective. If you think about it, if we were to hang you up by your feet, you would see the world upside down. The blood would also rush to your head, which might give you a little more perspective on, a little more energy to see something from a different angle. And sometimes we really do need to make the vision a little broader. Maybe we need to just kind of shift our position just a little bit. I mean, literally, if you think about standing outside and looking straight ahead, if you move 90 degrees to the right, you're still in the same place, but you're seeing a whole different picture. So be willing to just think about things from a different perspective. And it may be that you'll want to get a different opinion from somebody. But remember that your opinion in the end is the one that you're going to end up going with. But it's always good to get some perspective from other places or from seeing something from a different point of view. So the wisdom is the Death card. A Death card is a known change. So we know that things are going to change, right? I think I've used this example previously. When we are getting ready to finish a year of school, that is a change we know that is coming. We're going to go from 7th grade to 8th grade. We know that that is going to come, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have some grief attached to it. And grief isn't necessarily just crying, right? It is about how we integrate something new and let go of something that no longer is working for us, right? We maybe loved that 7th grade teacher and we would keep that 7th grade teacher forever, but that teacher does not teach 8th grade, right? And so as much as we love that teacher, we're going to have to let that teacher go. And so the Death card is really about the change that we pretty much know is coming. And so we can prepare for that a little bit. So the wisdom is there's apparently a change coming, and you just need to be aware of that fact. I'll do a short video about grief at some point, not yet, but I will do one about grief and just talk about the stages of grief a little bit. But grief can be, just one last thing about grief, and that is that grief can happen when we have happy occasions. When a child gets married, right, it is a happy occasion, but things change as a result of that. The person that your child marries now becomes their primary confidant, and you are not their confidant, their primary anymore. So while it's really happy when that little one gets married, something changes, and in the midst of all that happiness is also some grief. Okay, so back to the reading. So let's look at this present energy with our page being kind of in love with whatever that resource is. And we've got the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. So the Knight of Wands is some fast-moving, energetic determination about whatever this new project is. Probably that's the enthusiasm that goes along with the imagination and the oh my gosh, what can I do with this new thing that I have, or this new project that I'm working on. And the Ten of Pentacles is basically the ultimate card of resources. You've got everything you need, is how I would read this. You've got everything that you need, plus the determination to move ahead with this project. That's good news. Yesterday, we were talking about a disruption that you could handle. And so sometimes the readings will be related to the previous day and the next day, but sometimes not. So this feels new to me and probably appropriate for a Monday. So the challenge to see things from a different perspective. And we're getting the Seven of Cups and the Six of Wands. The Seven of Cups has to do with, sometimes it's distraction and sometimes it's seeing other things. These are desires. These are a number of desires from which to choose. But sevens are a tendency to kind of take stock. It's like, what is it that you really want here? What is it that you want for this project? And you need to be a little more clear, and perhaps that is what this change in perspective is going to help you do. The challenge is to look at all of those aspects of what this is in order to make some good decisions about how to bring this into fruition. The Six of Wands is frequently described as a card of success, but it's also faking it until you make it. This fellow is riding on what we call a mummer's horse, which is the two guys underneath the horse costume. And he's sitting up above all these people that are really happy for him. So as you're doing this new project, perhaps you're getting some approbation for what it is that you're doing, or maybe you need some encouragement from the people around you while you do your best to, have some confidence about what you're doing, even though you might be a little bit not confident about this moving forward. Although I'd say overall, from this perspective, this is a pretty confident moving forward. Just be sure that you take stock in what it is that you're actually trying to do here. So let's look at the wisdom. And we've got the Ace of Wands and we've got the Nine of Cups. So this may be something that is coming out of a transition of some sort for you. That this is a new thing that comes as a result of something that you knew was coming. You knew that was going to come to an end. But the fact that it is buttressed by the Ace of Wands, which is a brilliant moment of inspiration, of will and determination and desire. It's like, oh man, I really want to do this. And this Nine of Cups is the wish card. This is the thing that I so emotionally want, and this is what I'm going to be working for. And so that does bring us back to this new thing that you are working at. This has to do with your wish. You've got some really great determination in it, but something has to change in order for you to move ahead here. And that may be why we've got the Hanged Man, to look at this from a different perspective so that it serves you in a better way. So let's see, energy-wise, what have we got? We have We have wands. In fact, we've got 3 wands, and we've got 2 cups, and we've got 2 pentacles, and we do not have the swords. Now, swords are clarity and truth, but we have that energy present in the Hanged Man here. So it looks to me like the energy is pretty much balanced, especially with the presence of this card to take over for that clarity and truth. So let's look at the Merryweather card. And here is our old friend, the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is again, frequently described as an uneven relationship. And as I'm looking, you've got 2 6s here, repeating 6s. And so as we're thinking about this new project, you may need something from somebody else, or you may need to give something to somebody else. And maybe the project has to do with you or sharing something with somebody else, or that you are in need of resources. You'll know what that's about. I want to kind of point out something that I had run across back when I first started reading tarot about this card, which makes me laugh. So it was pointed out to me that there's a little funny pocket on this little beggar's robe. And somebody said that was a lottery ticket. So a little luck there, a little lottery ticket. I don't know that that's actually a true thing, but it's always kind of entertained me a little bit. So just back to the 6 of Pentacles, the breadcrumb card, and you can see he is dropping those breadcrumbs into the hands of that particular beggar. He's holding the scale, so he's in charge of how much they're going to get. And so if this is you and your project is about sharing something, be thoughtful about how much of your resources you want to share, what's appropriate to share. And if you are on the receiving end, be sure that you're getting what you need. You may need to ask for more in order to get whatever it is that you need to move your project ahead. So when I say it's an unequal relationship, those 3 characters, these 2 are on a different level of affluence than this fellow over here. And in this particular 6, where we're talking about unequal equal relationships, all these guys are in the background are cheering this guy on. And so sometimes this card can mean you are being successful, but at the expense of other people. This is kind of a pride sort of card. So that would be the caution here, is to make sure that you are not being taken advantage of or taking advantage of others while you are looking at this new project thing or whatever. So that's what I have for you this morning on Monday. And hopefully that will give you a little perspective on the day and perhaps an overview on the week. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember that the readings aren't going to be valid for everybody, but certainly there is a card here that may have some value for you. So if you did like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will welcome you back again later here at the Treehouse when you come back for another View from Above reading. Blessings.